Hey everybody, finally got Mr. BaggeeBoy himself, the famous man from England here. We've been putting this off for a while, but we're stoked to
Yeah.
be bringing this to you. We got some questions. Actually, I could have swore I made a video for this video to get some questions, but I guess I didn't. I think I just talked about it in a different video and I couldn't find it, so we're going to do some questions from his because he got some awesome
Mhm.
feedback on his, and then I'm going to answer some, or we're both answer some just really basic questions that we know everyone's going to ask, no matter how many times we answer them. So, yeah. So, um, that's yeah.
Cool.
You want to just go ahead and get right into it? The first.
Yeah, let's do this first one. It's funny. Okay, from A30801, do you wish you were black? Do you ever listen to reggae at all? Do you want to answer that one first?
Sure. No, I do not wish I was black. Not because I don't like black people, because that would be stupid. I love black people. I have many black friends. I don't even feel like I need to explain myself. I don't think anyone thinks I'm racist at all. But me or BaggeeBoy. So, yeah. No to that answer, simply. Pretty sure you were just kind of being funny when you posted anyway. Do I listen to reggae? Recently, I actually kind of got into a little bit of it. I like some Bob Marley music, some of his stuff. I actually like this band called Soja, Soja, however you say that. They're actually from like Washington or something, and they just recently hit top charts of whatever that means on iTunes. And so I've been listening to them a lot. Actually, I like their new album they came out with. My friend Ryan in New York actually showed me that band. So they're reggae. I really like them. But and then a couple other people. I'm terrible with I can know a song, but if you ask me the name of the song or the band, I would never be able to tell you. But if I heard it, I like a lot of stuff. When I'm at work, I'll put it on Pandora radio and listen to like the Bob Marley channel for a while and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I like some reggae. What do you think?
Yeah, me too. I love reggae. I'm not, well, yeah, I say I love it. I guess we play a load of stuff at work all the time, so that very often comes on because it's good background music. I wouldn't say I've ever been into it majorly, but, you know, I love it. I appreciate it. But, do I wish I was black? No. I guess I picked this question out just because I think it was silly. And to be honest with you, I think the guy got so much abuse for putting the question up that I think maybe they've learned the lesson. But no, I mean, I've had this conversation a bunch of times before, especially with people over YouTube, that the whole dreads thing, although yes, it's got association with black culture, it's not exclusive to black culture. But that's not to say that I'm trying to be argumentative. It's just not an issue. But I don't blame people for maybe associating dreads with black people because I guess it is a massive part of the culture. But no, I don't wish I was black. I'm happy with the skin I'm in. I'm happy with who I am. Yeah. And yeah, question answered. Let's kind of move on. But silly question. Oh, no. Right. Jotex420 says, "Hey man, have any tips or advice on making dreadlocks thicker?" I'll answer this first, I guess. I don't really. I've not really tried to make my dreads thick. I guess for me, I've got quite big sections, maybe 1.5, 2 inches sections actually. So it means that my dreads are going to be fairly thick anyway, because there's lots of hair in each one. Although I've maintained them so they're really tight. They're quite tight, so they'd probably be even thicker than they are now if I hadn't done. I think time makes them thicker. The more you work on them, and the more the hair gets the more hair that gets kind of worked into the dread, and as they kind of shrink up, they'll thicken up. So again, it's an answer to it's my answer to so many questions. It's just patience and time. Really, dreadlocks is not like a instantaneous thing. You just got to give it time. So that would be my answer. No, there isn't really anything. Just keep working on them, keep maintaining them, and they'll thicken up.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much say the same thing. The same thing I've said in multiple videos. I mean, even Ned the Dread, back when he had dreads, he answered this question really simply. He said it comes down to 3 things. Hopefully I can remember those 3 now that I'm on the spot. How big your sections are, 1. 2, how much hair is in the dread, and 3, I forgot. So sorry about that. But no, pretty much, I mean, I said this in Ryan, me and Ryan's, we had almost had the same question. It's different type, but I've read research from a bunch of different people, websites, and even hairdressers that I personally know say on average the human head sheds 50 to 150 hairs daily. And so when you think about that, when you have dreads, that's why like your dread will be not frizzy one day if you've done maintenance, and then in a couple weeks it has frizz, kind of maybe not all the way down to the tip, but around the body. And Baggy Boys are longer than mine, but that's because some of the hairs that come out of your scalp, when they come out of your scalp, they're already in your dread, so they'll kind of come out and kind of hang down around it. Yeah. But if you imagine years of not losing any hair, that means you're gaining technically like 50 to 150 hairs daily, and throughout your whole head. So people, it's not that people that don't have dreads have thinner hair. It's just that you shed it, you don't realize it or whatever. So the hair comes out, wraps around your dread, and continues to do that for the duration of your dread time. And I've even noticed, like, this is kind of irrelevant, but like, say, like when I bleach my tips, like Baggy Boys is a good illustration with whenever you bleached your tips, you can still see on some of them the parts you originally bleached, and those were like probably like 6 inches when you started, and they've kind of shrunk up. So your dreads continue to shrink the longer you have them. And,
like, look, see that? That's what's that? That's like, now I didn't put dreads in like 1.5 inches because that would just be stupid. So a lot of that is kind of, I admit, probably maybe lost 1 inch off that of like hair that snapped off or whatever, but as it's tucked into itself. But yeah, that's thickened up, and I've only got that length of the original dread now. So yeah, that is correct. I mean, that's kind of scary. Yeah. But and that just shows how much length you lose actually in the first 6 months, which is another question that maybe is an aside. How much length do you look like? Why? Like, I've had this question quite a lot that says, why have your dreads not grown? Like, after 2 years, why are your dreads not longer? Because hair grows really quick. I think you don't forget that your hair kind of, as it folds into the dread, it kind of knots up, so it's not dead straight. It's kind of looping around and going up and then down and moving around and in and out, and you're losing the length like that. So don't be disheartened if your dreads don't grow really quick in the first year, and then you'll find actually in the second year that your dreads will grow really quick.
Yeah, I love what you said in one of your videos, man. The way you said it was really clear. Like, whenever you have normal hair, it grows at the normal rate, but it grows straight down. But when you have dreads, it no longer grows straight down. It grows in every direction possible, and that's just a great way to explain it. Also, though, I mean, this is another question. I think that's relative to this would be, I get people who ask, why my dreads are flat. Why are they flat? Will that ever fix? And I have some that are a little bit, most of mine are, I mean, they're pretty round, but if you turn them sideways, like this one right here, it looks a little bit thicker if you can see it on my head, but when I turn it sideways, it's a little bit thinner, if you can tell. Yeah. That's just because the way it sits flat in your head, which no one would ever tell. But also, I have some that are the sections when the lady did I had a friend of mine do the sections, and one of them's like a rectangle. Like, I have one that I won't bother looking for, but if no one can tell now that they're thickened up. But I mean, it's definitely like flat on one side. But I always palm roll it after the shower to kind of help that one a little bit. And but you got to remember, man, with time, your dreads, like we were just talking about, they continue to shrink. Even the mature parts continue to shrink a little bit over time, just get tighter and tighter. And so even if they're thin and scraggly right now, as they grow out and they get compact, even if they are not perfectly round, they're going to thicken up to the point to where they're not like flat like paper. You know what I mean? So you don't be worried about that. It's not to worry about.
It's not a biggie. Right, cool. Next question. This is a good one. Do you remember the first moment you decided to get dreadlocks?
A good one.
Where, when, why, etc. Do you want to go first? Sorry, I just need to drop my computer. Go on.
Sure. Remember the first moment? Yes. This is crazy. It was probably like 12 to 13 years ago. I started skateboarding. I was in like 5th grade. I was 10. So yeah, like 12 years ago. And man, I remember I was at a skate park. I've never even thought to put this in a video. I'm glad that question came up. This guy asked, I asked this guy, he had sick dreads, and they were probably a little bit longer than Baggy Boys right now, and we were at a skate park. He worked there, and I thought they were just the coolest thing. I hadn't really seen them ever. I mean, I probably had, but I mean, everyone I've seen them, like, they're a lot more popular, like, in the black culture, so they're normal to see, but to see it on a white person, you're kind of like, what the heck? Like, so I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I remember, this is what I asked him. I said, and I'm sure he was so annoyed. He probably got the same question all the time with all the skaters around him. I was like, hey, man, how do you do your hair like that? And he goes, all you got to do is listen to hip-hop, man. That's what his answer was. That's all he said. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was too young. My parents wouldn't let me do it at the time anyway. Plus, my hair was too short. I had to keep it short for school. So I've never forgot that up to this day. I look back. I'll never see that guy again. But, man, I'm glad he said that. That was funny. But, Yeah,
That's the best answer. That's the answer of a man who's had that question asked of him like so many times.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
he's got to come up with something creative just to like give you some advice, but not fob you off.
Yeah.
I love that. That's wicked. For me, I watched a video actually when I was, how old was I? Maybe 14, 15. A band called the Bomb Funk MCs, and they did one track really. That was it, and it was called Freestyler. And all it was it was like a dance track. Had like a bit of a drum and bass rhythm in the background, but there was this cool kid in the video, and the whole idea of the video is that he can stop time, pause it, rewind it with. This is dating me. He's got a portable CD player and he's got a little controller. So he's like, and the little controller kind of like, you know, the extra controllers on your headphones that always broke. Yeah. Those things that were really annoying. Yeah. So he's using that and he's kind of skipping that like back and forth and that kind of stuff to stop people and make people dance. But the kid had these kind of, what I thought at the time were these really cool sick dreads with like blonde in it and stuff. And I look back at it now and think, actually, no, his dreads were a mess. They were a scraggly, horrible mess. But that first time I watched that video, I went, that kid is so cool. I need to be him. And it was like, you know, it was that kind of like typical teenage, wow, I want to be like that, exactly like that kid.
How old were you?
I say 14, 15. I was probably maybe a bit younger. I can't remember when the video came out. But hey, go check out Freestyler by Bomb Funk MCs, which is BOMFUNK MCs. You know, it's still a tune. It's still a tune. But yeah, so that was the first time I wanted, or even considered actually that I could maybe do dreads. But then I didn't think of it for a while until after university, really. So yeah, that's me. Let's move on.